Live, it's Sammy J, and I'm here with the incredibly talented Hailee.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
So you are about to launch your new album.
Yeah, well, I have a new single coming out that I am so incredibly excited about. And it's so crazy how it came about. It happened so quickly. And I am getting ready for the Meghan Trainor tour, which starts in like tomorrow, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was in and out of the studio kind of working on, what I'd hope would be the next single, and this one kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm so excited to be going on the road with it.
So how did you meet Meghan Trainor? Like, how did this whole tour come about?
I met Meghan at Jingle Ball, I believe in LA. It was, I think, oh man, I could sit here and try and think about what city it was in and probably wrong. But I met her at one of the Jingle Ball shows last year, and she was so cool and so genuine, and I love her music, and I love her as an artist and as a person. She's just so genuine, and I had this total, pre-show freak out. I was on stage about to go on, and I was just, it was one of my first, I'm still very new at this, and it was one of my first shows, and I remember taking my in-ears out and looking at Meghan, and I'm like, Meghan, I'm nervous, thinking just tell me something that's gonna calm me down and make this all better. And she was like, girl, you go, you do you have fun. And I was like, all right, Meghan Trainor, I'm gonna do that. And that was my first encounter with her. And then when she asked me to go on tour with her, I was like, absolutely yes.
That's like a dream come true.
Isn't it? I know.
So the first song you released was Love Myself,
yes.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
That music video with people dancing.
Yeah.
That seems so fun.
It was a lot of fun. So a lot of those people, well, half the people in the video were cast, and the other half were people that happened to be walking. We shot that in downtown LA. So they were going to and from work, going home, and it was amazing. Our idea was we wanted to do this social experiment of setting a mirrored box with the words "Love Myself" written across it, and we wanted to see sort of how people would react to that. And people would go up and take selfies, they'd check themselves out, there would be couples, there would be people that would just go up and dance and do their thing and join us. So it really was a fun shoot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you started out when you were 14, correct?
I started, yeah. I made my first movie when I was 13. I started...
you won your Academy, or you had the nomination
yes.
for the Academy Award.
I was going to say, I'll go with one.
Yeah.
I won that, yeah.
So, so you had your nomination, and then things from there kind of took off.
Mm-hmm.
14 is very young.
Yeah.
Now you're singing.
Yeah.
Where did that come from for making movies?
Well, singing is something I sort of got into around the same time that I started acting. But the acting, took, I was going to say most of my time, but all of my time. And the music and singing became more of a side project. And I would write and I would record covers just so that I could get to know what being in a studio was like, a recording studio. And sooner or later, I was given the opportunity in Pitch Perfect 2 to both act and sing at the same time. So that was really the perfect segue into making music. But I started around the same time and started making movies.
So Pitch Perfect was your first movie that you started singing in.
Yes.
What was your favorite memory from that movie? Because that was just an amazing
Thank
movie.
you. Well, I distinctly remember seeing the first one and thinking, if there's ever an opportunity I can do a movie like this, not even thinking that there would be a sequel to a movie like that, I had to do it. And when I found out that Pitch Perfect 2 was a thing and that was being made, I did everything I could. And I think my favorite memory was just maybe getting the call that I got the job, or maybe walking on set for the first time. And I had very much the same approach as my character did, walking into the Bellas and feeling like, oh my God, I'm actually fans of all you guys, and this is so crazy and surreal, and I can't believe I'm here and I'm doing this. So the whole thing was pretty memorable.
So do you use social media as a way to connect with your fans?
Do I use it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what kind of social media do you use?
Well, I think I'm on everything. I think I'm keeping up pretty well with everybody. I'm on Twitter, which I love. Instagram is my favorite. I love seeing everybody's posts and cool edits, and I love commenting on their photos and liking them. And Snapchat is a big thing in my life. And Tumblr. I like Tumblr a lot.
Tumblr, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, tell me. So you post a lot with different other stars, like Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez. How did you guys all meet?
Oh my goodness. Well, I met Selena when I was 14, I think.
Wow.
And I met Taylor, I think, in that same time, and we would run in the same circle, and I would see them around, and I would fangirl every time. Remember stores with them and just kind of staying in touch because we'd see each other so often, that we were like, we should actually make a thing of this and like see each other outside of all the craziness. So we did, and they're awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, you've done movies and singing. Which do you prefer?
Oh my goodness. I think this is the hardest question of all questions for me. I don't know that I can tell you there's not one that I prefer over the other. I think that they're both incredibly different and they give me completely different satisfactions. I mean, I think there's something from singing and performing live that you don't necessarily get with making a movie, but there's a place that you can go and live for a certain amount of time in a movie that you don't necessarily get to stay in when you're traveling in different cities every day for music. But they're both so different, but I love them both so much.
Do you have advice to give to teenagers who want some inspiring words from you?
Oh my goodness. I think, looking back on some of the most valuable advice I've been given, it's kind of, I guess there's always don't give up and believe in yourself and trust yourself. And I always remember hearing that and thinking, like, it's so much easier said than done. But it really is so important to truly believe in yourself and know that there's going to be so many people that try and make you feel differently about something or make you think that you're one way when you feel another. And I think it's so important to just know that if you're passionate about something and you have the love for it, that's all you need to do what you want to do.
Is that why you chose Love Myself to debut?
That was a big reason in choosing that to be my first single. I really wanted something that meant a lot to me and that would mean something to others. And I think that message of having that self-love and that self-reassurance is so important, and it's so easy to forget the importance of it. And so having that as not only a reminder to myself but to other people was pretty special.
So I believe it was yesterday you posted a little sneak peek that you're doing a song with Zed.
Yes, I
Starve.
am.
Can you
Yeah.
tell us anything about it?
Yeah, so Starving is my next single, which is coming out, I hate this word, but very soon. And yeah, I am so excited. I'm a huge fan of Zed. And he produced this song along with a duo called Gray, who they are just amazing. They have done some of my favorite remixes. You should check them out if you haven't heard of them. And they worked on Starving with me, so I'm very excited for everybody to hear it.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you're 19 and you've accomplished so much. You've done movies, singing. What's next for you?
Well, I plan to fly to the moon. No, I'm gonna stick with what I'm doing for a minute. I obviously am going on tour this summer with Meghan Trainor, so I cannot wait for that. This will be my first real touring experience, so I'm very excited about that.
How long is it?
It's about 3 months, right, Mom? Anybody want to help me? It's like just what? 29 shows. However long that takes, I don't know. It's my first show. But yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be great. Life on a tour bus, I have yet to experience. Figure out how that goes.
So is it true that last year you were just in the audience during Jingle Ball, and then this past year you were actually performing?
Yes, that is so true. I went as a fan, and I thought the concept of like seeing all of my favorite artists in one night was just so incredible. And again, it was one of those moments I had where kind of like when I saw the first Pitch Perfect, I was like, God, if I like could only have this opportunity. I had no idea that the year before last it would have been the next year, but it happened, and it was so crazy, and the way it all came together, as quickly as it came together, it was still so organic, and I think that's what made the whole experience so special, sort of how Jingle Ball came about and how Love Myself kind of got me there. But yeah, I went as a fan, and then the next year I was on stage.
That's like a dream story.
It is. It really is.
So, all of your songs, Rock Bottom, You're Such a... I can't think of one song that just doesn't get you in the mood to dance and sing along.
Oh, thank you.
Is that one of the reasons you make music? Because you want people to know your music and sing along with it?
No, absolutely. I think, you know, in going back to how it's sort of different than what I'm used to in making movies and in acting is that I get to tell my own story through my music. I'm not telling sort of someone else's as a character. So it's so incredible to have that opportunity to really talk to people and communicate with them through my music. And yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things to do is go to concerts and move and dance and, you know, feel like there's nothing else going on in the world, and music is one of my, I mean, there's never a time I'm like not doing something that's involving music, whether it's listening to it or singing it or writing it, whatever it is. So to be able to create it and connect with people through it is really cool.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
Everybody?
Oh my God, bye guys!